everyone, welcome back. Today we're tackling a big life decision, moving in with a partner. It's exciting, but can also bring unexpected challenges. Let's dive into some key things to consider before taking this step. Consider doing a trial run if you haven't already. Spend a week or two living together at one person's place to see how your habits align. Are dishes left in the sink for days? Are your sleep schedules completely different? Maybe one of you is super tidy while the other is more relaxed about clutter. During the trial, notice how you handle shared responsibilities. Who takes the lead on cooking or cleaning? Are there unspoken assumptions about who should do what? If one person ends up doing more, resentment can build. Divide household tasks and track expenses for groceries or utilities. This helps you discuss how to fairly split costs in the future. And don't just focus on the practical side. See how you handle conflicts or disagreements when sharing a space. For instance, if one of you leaves the bathroom light on overnight, can you bring it up without an argument? These moments are great indicators of how well you communicate as a team. Think of it as a relationship stress test. It's better to work out these dynamics now than be caught off guard after signing a lease. Moving in together is exciting, but it's a big step that comes with expectations, spoken and unspoken. Before signing a lease, take time for an honest conversation about your reasons. For example, one of you might view this as a step toward marriage, while the other sees it as a way to save on rent. Aligning your intentions now can prevent misunderstandings later. Start by asking open-ended questions like, what does moving in together mean to you? Where do you see us in a few years? These aren't meant to add pressure, but to ensure you're on the same page. Also, think about external factors influencing your decision. Are you moving in because of convenience, like a lease ending or a long commute, or because it feels emotionally right? Remember, this conversation doesn't have to be heavy or overly formal. You can talk about it casually during a walk or over dinner, but it's a discussion you don't want to skip. When both of you know where you stand, it sets the stage for a smoother transition into living together, and it can even strengthen your relationship in the process. Living alone means your money, your rules. But when you move in with a partner, it's no longer just about your spending habits. It's about theirs too. The first step is understanding what your current financial habits look like. Take some time to list out your monthly expenses. This includes everything from rent or groceries to discretionary spending like dining out, streaming subscriptions, or home decor. Encourage your partner to do the same. Once you've both laid it out, group those expenses into categories. Think necessities like rent and utilities, lifestyle choices like restaurants or hobbies, and savings or debt payments. Why does this matter? Because your spending priorities might be vastly different from your partner's. For example, you might be budgeting carefully for groceries and cooking at home, while they're ordering takeout 3 times a week. Without clarity on these differences, financial tension can creep in quickly. Another key topic, long-term goals. If one of you is saving aggressively for a house, while the other prefers frequent vacations, that's something you'll need to reconcile. Remember, moving in together is not just about sharing a space, but also aligning your financial roadmaps. Lastly, don't forget the unexpected expenses. What happens if the fridge breaks down or the landlord increases rent? Do you split those costs evenly or based on income? These are practical questions worth addressing now, so you're not scrambling when the time comes. At the end of the day, understanding and aligning your financial habits isn't just about budgeting, it's about building trust. Having a transparent conversation up front can save you both a lot of stress and help you work together towards shared goals. Finding a place to live together is exciting, but it's important to be on the same page. Start by defining your must-haves: proximity to work, a pet-friendly home, or space for a home office. Next, discuss your budget, not just for rent, but also utilities and other costs. A general guideline is keeping rent around 30% of your combined income, but adjust it based on your financial goals. As you start your search, keep in mind that compromise is key. You might love the idea of a sleek high-rise downtown, while your partner prefers a quieter spot in the suburbs. Finding the middle ground can help you both feel at home. Most importantly, don't rush. The right place is one that fits both your lifestyle and budget, creating a home you'll both love. Also, don't underestimate the importance of timing. The rental market can move quickly, especially in popular areas, so have your paperwork ready, like credit checks, references, and proof of income. When you're viewing flats, make sure to ask key questions during viewings, like what's included in rent and policies on changes or fees. Most importantly, don't rush. The right place is one that fits both your lifestyle and budget, creating a home you'll both love. When moving in together, the lease agreement is more than just paperwork. It's a legal commitment with serious implications. Let's use Germany as an example to break it down. Option 1. Both names on the lease. When both partners sign the lease, you create a shared agreement between you, your partner, and the landlord. This means you both have equal rights to the flat. You're equally responsible for rent and damages, and the lease can only be terminated by both of you together. While this arrangement splits responsibilities, it can get messy if you break up. You're still legally tied to the lease unless you both agree on a solution. Pro tip: add a clause to the lease stating that if you split, one partner can take over the lease while releasing the other from responsibility. This can save a lot of stress later. Option 2. 1. Name on the lease. If only one partner signs the lease, they have full legal responsibility for the property. They're in charge of rent and damages, and can also ask the other person to leave if the relationship ends. This setup can work well if one partner is already renting the place and the other moves in. Just be sure to inform the landlord about the new living arrangement. In most cases, landlords can't refuse unless there's a significant reason, like a criminal record. Final thought: no matter which option you choose, make sure you understand what you're signing. A little preparation now can save you from major headaches down the road. Moving in together is exciting, but it's important to have a plan for your finances to avoid misunderstandings. Here's how to keep things clear and fair. Splitting expenses. How will you divide costs like rent, utilities, and groceries? A 50-50 split might work, but if one of you earns more, you could adjust the split based on income. For example, the higher earner might cover a larger share of rent, while the other handles utilities. The goal is to find a balance that works for both of you. Joint account or separate accounts. Do you want to set up a joint account for shared expenses, or prefer transferring money back and forth as needed? A joint account can make things easier, especially for recurring costs like rent, but it's not a must. If you're both more comfortable keeping your finances separate, that's totally fine too. Just make sure you have a clear system for managing payments. Planning for unexpected costs. Moving in often means extra expenses, like buying furniture or dealing with repairs. Talk about how you'll handle these costs. Will you split them equally, or will the higher earner contribute more? Agreeing on this upfront avoids surprises later. Maintaining independence. While building a life together, it's still important to have personal savings. Both of you should aim for an emergency fund, so you're financially secure no matter what happens. It's not about expecting the worst, just being prepared. Moving in together is about creating a space that reflects both your personalities, which can be fun, but might also require compromise. Start with what you have. Use the furniture and decor you already own. It's cost-effective, personal, and sustainable. Plus, any furniture or decor you no longer need can be sold or donated, keeping things sustainable and clutter-free. Hold off on big purchases. Resist the urge to splurge on expensive items like a trendy couch right away. Live together for a while to see what you actually need. If you do decide to make a big purchase, keep the receipts just in case plans or living arrangements change. Align on style. If one of you loves minimalism and the other prefers a cozier vibe, talk it out. Find a middle ground that works for both of you. If you're struggling, try focusing on neutral, versatile pieces that can complement a variety of styles. Pro tip: take your time. Leave room to grow by adding meaningful items over time, like a plant or artwork from a trip. It'll make your space feel intentional and uniquely yours. Moving in with a partner is a big step, and while it's not always easy, it can be an amazing experience when done thoughtfully. If you're considering taking this step, use these tips as a guide to help make the transition smoother. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Let me know in the comments, what's your biggest concern about moving in with a partner? I'd love to hear from you. See you next time.